I stand between Italians and their lunch. So I better be quick. So I only have two things I want to do today. I want to try and break the interpreters by using big English words. But also, I don't want to tell you anything. I just want to make you think about some things. Because, do you know what? I've been in this business for 25 years. I know I look really young. But in 25 years, I've worked for Microsoft. I've worked for Adobe. I've worked for Oracle. And I've also worked for a bunch of small companies. And I've spent my life building small companies, selling them to big companies, and then watching big companies make my product as if it was theirs. Fully integrated, seamless. These are all words that you've heard. Synergy. All these great Americanizations that we see on the market around our product. But the reality of it is, it was different to every other product in their estate. So I'm going to talk about why I don't believe Oracle or Adobe or Microsoft or SAP when they talk about the Marketing Cloud. And I'm going to ask you to think about their story once I've finished mine. So, here's the problem. This is the amount of technology that exists in digital marketing. It's horrific. It looks like the CRM market when I was in my 20s a couple of years ago. The reality of there are over 2,000 digital products. And if you work in social media, a new company is formed every 5 minutes. And they're on the stack. Oh, and by the way, as marketers, we're turning around to the operations people in our business and saying, guys, can you just integrate all of these products? I want to know what's going on with all the data that flows through all these products. I want to be able to analyze it, and I want to be able to do that in real time. So once your IT team have finished laughing at you, the next thing you do is, well, how am I going to solve this problem? I've got lots of disparate products. It takes me about a month to deploy a tag to talk to these products. Show of hands in the room. When I say the word tag, does everybody know what I mean? Yeah. Put your hand up if you know what a tag is. So you know what a tag is. A tag is, in essence, it's a listening post. It is a piece of code that you deploy around your business that allows you to listen to what's going on with your digital estate. And it's really the foundation of everything. It is the starting point for every single data exercise that exists within your business. Because unless you are listening, you're relying on data that people tell you is true. I saw a brilliant article in the papers last week which said nobody believes third-party data anymore. Everybody is looking to first-party data to be the foundation and fountain of truth. Because I don't really care what other applications think about my customers. I really want to know what my customers think, what my prospects think. And I want to be able to look at them as they go through my digital estate. And by the way, I want to be able to change that digital estate in an agile manner that allows me to transform my business to listen to the new ways that customers want to talk to me. Who'd have ever thought we'd have seen iBeacons 10 years ago? I'm pretty sure in 15 years' time, you will be tracked wherever you go. Content will be pushed to you at every step. When you step into a shop, what content is being promoted to you as you walk around that stop will basically be formed on the basis of your current and previous interactions with me and my digital estate. The sooner as the retailer or the bank can understand who an anonymous person is, we're all toast. We will be bombarded with offers that organizations think we need. And I get really angry with organizations treating me like a bald, 40-year-old man who lives 30 miles south of London. Because guess what? I'm not like every other bald, 30-year-old man who lives south of London. I'm me. I have individual requirements and individual tastes. I have things that I like to buy and things I like to interact with in a digital estate. So, unless I can listen to a complex digital estate, and I can build that aggregation layer that allows me to talk to all these applications, that allows me to gather all this first-party data, then it makes decisions about what I do with my journey very, very difficult. And I think that tag management is really, really, really boring. It is. It's very uncool. In fact, when I joined Tealium about a year ago, my wife said, "That doesn't sound very cool. You've just left Adobe. They're really cool. Why are you going to this small company that's not very cool?" Well, the answer is this. This is the old world, where we had scores of developers writing Java code for us, injecting that into our digital estate, slowing down our websites, slowing down our page loads, not allowing us to integrate with all the right products, but it worked. It allowed us to get a view of our data. The Java tag worked. It allowed us to see what first-party data was coming through our digital estate. The next thing is, how do I make that tag environment agile? How do I allow my 5,000 Java code developers I have sitting in the basement with no light, being fed on coffee and late-night episodes of Breaking Bad? What I do is I buy a tag management system. And now my next question to the audience. Who in the audience has a tag management solution? Wow, that's a lot less than who knew what a tag was. So I think it's in its infancy. The metrics would argue, and I don't believe statisticians, but let's go for it anyway, 60% of the world's tier 1 businesses have yet to deal with tag management, have yet to put a solution in to manage all their tags. And last week I was with Coca-Cola in Belgium, and the guy who has to deal with this problem is having a nightmare. Imagine how many Java tags there are deployed around the world in Coca-Cola. A lot. Yeah. He has to rip them all out and replace them with this system on the right that allows him to have fast page load times, to be able to pick 2,000 vendors and have a tag pre-built by a vendor to be able to deploy. So instead of saying, I want you to write me a JavaScript tag for MVT testing with Optimizely, I want you to write me a Google Analytics tag for Google Analytics Premium. They're already there. They're deployable, they're droppable, they don't sit on your website, they sit in the cloud. Brilliant. Okay, so I've collected all this first-party data running through my digital estate. Very exciting. We're just another collection business. Actually, where Tealium, I think, really starts to impact in the business is when you start to use and enrich that first-party data. So it's all about this little bit in here. You've got everything that's coming through your applications. You've got everything that's coming through your experience layer. And you're building a picture in real time of what those people are doing with your organization. You might even be segmenting them. You might be doing real-time badge allocation. Remember that 30-year-old bald man who lived 30 miles south of London? Well, actually, he's a VIP who buys a lot of ladies' handbags for his wife. He also likes to drive bad cars. He also likes to shop in the following stores. So what I'm actually doing is I'm starting to build a segmentation and a profile of me. Not everybody like me. Because what I'm doing is I'm taking all of my on and offline interactions, using my tag management solution. I'm aggregating all that data. Then what I'm doing is I'm using tags to fire third-party data. I'm trying to figure out what the data analytics tools in my organization, what the CRM tools in my organization, what the email tools in my organization, what they think and what they say about me. And also what I'm allowed to do is I'm allowed to stitch who I am across all the channels in this data layer. What it basically does is and this is my only sales slide, and I apologize for it in advance, but there's a sales guy from Tealium in the room, and he'd kill me if I didn't get it in there. We have 3 layers of product. You have the Tealium IQ, which is self-explanatory. It is our tag management layer. It is the ability to deploy tags, manage tags, allow them to sit in the cloud, allow to build a first-party data analytics environment, and allow you to analyze the data that runs through it. Then we've got the audience stream piece. This is all about understanding who those people are inside your digital estate, stitching them across multiple products. Is Lindsay on an iPad the same as Lindsay online, the same as Lindsay on his phone, the same as Lindsay in store, or Lindsay on his set-top box? Can I stitch across all those channels and understand really who Lindsay is? And the last piece is, just because we want to poo-poo the world of big companies, it doesn't mean we can't work with them. So once we've taken all this first-party data and we've enriched it, and we've made it strong, we then want to be able to share that with the other data repositories existing inside our organization. So earlier when I was a little bit nasty about the big companies, it's not true. They're very strong. They have great technology. They just don't have all the great technology. So, this is the one slide that everybody asked me to talk about. Why would I pay for it? It's free. I mean, come on. You want me to pay for something that Google are going to give me free, that Adobe used to give me free? Why would I pay for it? Well, actually, I thought the same question when I joined this company. Why would people spend money on a tag management solution when Google gave it free? The only analogy I can think about is borrowing your mother's car to learn how to drive. Who in this room still drives their mother's car? Oh, nobody. That's because once you passed and you got rid of the 400-year-old Fiat Uno that you learnt in, you bought a new car that worked, that was exciting, that you liked, that you were passionate about. So what we're seeing at the moment is every customer that I go into that has Google Tag Manager, it's almost a reason for me to go see them. And they all sit there and go, we love tag management, but it's time for us to buy a grown-up enterprise solution. Apologies to anybody from Google in the room. You can beat me later. So, which brings me on to this, the marketing cloud, or the cloud in general. I'll tell you a story. I was walking through the Eurostar last week. I was speaking to a colleague standing next to me, and we were laughing about how ridiculous the adverts were getting about the cloud. Because apparently, if you put the word cloud after your company name, we solve everything. Everything. And right in front of me, on a 6-foot by 4-foot wide billboard, were these statements. Microsoft is curing cancer through the cloud. And I thought, wow, that's pretty ridiculous. Now, I understand what they're trying to say. What they're trying to say is there is a large amount of data around there around cancer research, and they are pulling together disparate databases, building large analytics around it so they can get true views of what's really out there, what the data really is. And I agree, Microsoft are trying to cure cancer with the cloud. But come on, it's a bit of a ridiculous statement. And it brings it to this. We've got all these companies up here who've got their exciting clouds. They've got tons of tremendous products. Adobe's campaign management tool is tremendous. I'm only saying that because I used to run Neolane, and that's the company they bought to make the Adobe campaign. They've all got strengths. All of these organizations provide some of the best-in-breed products in the world. But I don't want a relationship with just one of them. What I really want is a bit from all of them. So I want best-in-market analytics. I want best-in-market email marketing. I want the best thing that Oracle can give me, the best databases. I want Salesforce data. I want Google advertising. I want not just those companies, but I want every other company from those 2,000 digital companies, I want some of their products. And really, what I really want is a way to deploy tags for every single one of these products, to be able to analyze the first-party and third-party data that flows through those products, and then I want to make decisions based on all of the data, not just some of the silos of data. I want to build my own marketing cloud. I want an off-location set of databases constantly analyzing what's going on in my digital estate in real time. That's what I want. And we believe at Tealium, without trying to say you should buy any of our marketing products, we believe we're the glue in that new marketing cloud. This feels a lot like 25 years ago when I was a young sales guy selling middleware. This was the same kind of story. It was, don't buy everything from IBM for 400 million and have IBM consultants in your building all week. Buy best-of-breed applications and put them on this backbone, and we'll share all the data with each other. And this is no different. It's exactly the same message that drove middleware to be the backbone of every single business. So here we have the ability to do real-time remarketing, because you know what? I know what's going on in my digital estate across all of my products. I have the ability to really have advanced analytics, because I'm not just analyzing a database or data flowing or third-party data. I'm analyzing every single snippet of data that flows through my digital estate. So I'm getting a true, real picture of what's going on in customer land. All of this is down to one thing and one thing only, and that is the moment of truth. Everybody know? You're all marketers, you should know what the moment of truth is. When I am about to make a decision to purchase something, the amount of data that weighs upon me now is enormous. I can research online, offline. I can go to communities and ask them questions. As an organization, the hardest thing for us to do is to convert the moment of truth, because there is so much external influence that we have no control over. Well, really what we're trying to do here is give you as much of a picture of that external influence as you can to allow you to make real-time propositions to your customers so that as they're going through moments of truth, you're pushing them to make buy decisions. So, always have to have an opportunity to have a slide with a unicorn on it, but I believe unified marketing is no longer a myth. I think it's the basis of everything that we will do moving forward. I also think that Tealium has these customers believing that we understand what unified marketing is. I have 3 minutes before the pasta dash starts, so let me just talk about one of them. IKEA. I'm not supposed to tell this story, but I never behave myself, so I'm going to tell it anyway. IKEA had a problem. Abandoned baskets were their biggest problem. People were building beds, building kitchens, building bathrooms, and then abandoning the basket. IKEA did some research and reckoned for every second after a basket was abandoned, you had a 10% less chance of converting that basket. And they sent an email to you 24 hours later telling you that you'd abandoned the basket. No chance. According to their own research, they had no chance of converting whatsoever. So with the use of Tealium, what they do now is in session, when you close your basket, a little pop-up appears offering you another 5% off your basket. Now, all they managed to do was increase basket conversion by 8%. That's all. Hey, they do 100 million euros a month in e-commerce transactions. So guess what? 8% has a proper ROI attached to it. So here is where using your own marketing cloud actually, instead of me talking about features, hits an ROI that directly hits the CFO's desk. Excites him and interests him. It gives marketers something exciting to say in the board meeting instead of apologizing for spending company money. It's ROI-based implementation of product. And the last about Tealium slide. Why do you think that we should have any opinion or you should listen to us? Well, you know, we've got about 500 customers who believe our story. About 20,000 sites around the world use our technology. About $75 billion in transactions run through a tag owned by Tealium. Oh, and the 750 vendors that we integrate with, that's now 850 vendors. So really, I think we've got the technology, I think we've got the best practice, and we've got the experience and people to help you understand the flow of data through your digital estate. And it wouldn't be a Californian presentation unless I showed you a Californian beach. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening to me. Enjoy your lunch.